March 13th Village Board meeting. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call, please.
Ron Stapleton.
Here.
Trustee Janelle Kittredge. Here. Trustee Dave Maher.
Here.
Trustee Ken McClafferty.
Here.
Trustee Kevin Shaughnessy.
Here.
Trustee Rick Snagowski.
Okay. All right, thanks, Janet. Next up, we have the consent agenda, which consists of the following. We have approval of minutes from the February 13th, 2023 Village Board meeting, as well as the February 27th Village Board meeting. We have approval of disbursements from February 28th through March 13th, 2023. We have a resolution R-20-23 for mutual aid agreement and membership for Lima with SMART, which is the Suburban Mutual Assistance Response Team. I need a motion, please.
So moved. Second.
All right, we have a motion by Trustee Maher, seconded by Trustee Shaughnessy to approve the items on the consent agenda. Any questions or comments regarding the consent agenda? A roll call, please.
Thank you. Stapleton.
Yes.
Kittredge.
Yes.
Maher.
Yes.
McClafferty.
Yes.
And Shaughnessy.
Yes.
Okay, motion approved. Thank you, Janet. Next up, we have the mayor's report, but before we do that, we have a public hearing on the fiscal year 2024 proposed annual operating budget. I need a motion to open the public hearing, please.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Trustee Maher, seconded by Trustee Kittredge at 6:32 p.m. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. The motion carries. Darshana, you want to take this one, please?
Today's the first public hearing for our annual fiscal '24 operating budget. There was a public notice in the Daily Southtown on February 27th, and it was also posted on the village's website. Just one note, the village's website had an appropriation budget of about 35 million, but we've been working on trimming the budget. Some of the projects needed to be reduced. And so when we meet at the COW on March 20th, we'll talk more about it in detail
Okay.
of what is being proposed.
All right, thanks, Darshana.
Yep.
Any questions or comments for Darshana? George, anything?
The only thing I'll mention, I know that if you go back to fiscal year '22, we had about a $27 million budget. Correct, Darshana, so you're looking at the jump is due to some pretty large capital projects, which would be primarily due to our water tower project. We issued bonds about a year and a half ago. Those projects are starting to work their way through the system. So we'll probably get down to that $27, $28, $29 million figure again next year. So if you take that into account, we'll probably be in the $34 million range. General fund, I think will probably be in the 14.3 to $15 million range, but we'll get into that a little bit more at our committee of the whole meeting next week, I should say. And there'll be another public hearing in
On April
April.
10th.
And then hopefully we'll approve the budget on
April
April
10th.
10th as well. So just, this is the first opportunity to weigh in on the budget as part of the public hearing. So just wanted to mention that as well. Thank you.
Hey, George. George.
Yep.
Chief Mayton asked if you could resend him the link.
Oh, yes, will do. Thank you, Dave.
All right. Okay, any other questions, comments? All right, need a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Motion by Trustee, was it Shaughnessy? I heard something over here to the right. Shaughnessy, seconded by Trustee Maher. Roll call, please.
Yes. Stapleton.
Yes.
Kittredge.
Yes.
Maher.
Yes.
McClafferty.
Yes.
Shaughnessy.
All right, motion approved. Next up, we have the mayor's mention. First off, we have the Forge Adventure Park is holding their St. Patrick's Day weekend celebration this coming weekend with a lineup of live music, Irish dance performances, the Stockyard Kilty Band, workshops, and more. Visit forgeparks.com, special events page for all the information. I have to admit, the Kilty Pens is one of the best I've seen, Jason. So you do a great job. Noon? All right, so check that out. Sounds like a great time. Also, if you've not taken our 2023 community survey, please do so at polco.us/Lamont. This annual survey will help us follow trends in community sentiment to better serve our residents and see if there are any areas that need improvement. It will open through March 16th. In addition, our Lamont 150th anniversary survey is also open to the public through March 14th. The anniversary committee would like residents' input on what you would like to see included in this year-long celebration along with our information. So again, please check that out. Your input is always appreciated. Also, residents are encouraged to sign up for our electronic news article via email or text messages through Stay Informed, which is located on the top right of our website at lamont.il.us. You can sign up for the types of messages you would like to see. Newly included in the community news are messages pertaining to our 150th anniversary. You can also visit the new 150th anniversary website, which is lamont150.com, for articles and activities and event information. So that is it for the mayor's mention. Next up is the clerk's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, early voting for the April 4th consolidated election will soon begin at Lamont Township. Lamont Township is located at 1115 Warner Avenue and will start on March 20th. According to the Cook County's Clerk's Office, a photo ID is not required for early voting, but it is helpful if there is a question about your voter registration. An ordinance 0-08-23, granting a special use for a banquet hall and outdoor dining area in the DT Downtown District at 44 Stevens Street in Lamont, Illinois.
Okay, need a motion, please.
So move.
Second.
Okay, motion by trustee Stapleton, seconded by trustee McClafferty. Jason?
Yes, thank you. This is a new but actually amended special use permit for the Bridge Banquet Hall at 44 Stevens Street. Just want to highlight some of the amendments and additions that we made following the February 20th Committee of the Whole. Notably, we defined large events as anything over 250 people, in which case they're required to notify the Community Development Department, Public Works, and the Police Department to determine if any additional measures need to be taken for the event. Staging on the sidewalk is specifically prohibited. It said that won't be an issue with their expansion. And it also addresses the right-of-way encroachments. That's the follow-up resolution after this. It's a 5-foot easement along the south line of their building into the sidewalk that'll allow them to maintain the stairs and et cetera.
Got it. Thanks, Jason. Any
You're welcome.
questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Stapleton.
Yes.
Kittredge.
Yes.
Maher.
Yes.
McClafferty.
Yes.
Shaughnessy.
Yes.
Okay, motion approved.
Next, we have a resolution R-21-23 approving a plot of easement.
Okay, need a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion by trustee McClafferty, seconded by trustee Kittredge. Jason?
You know, if I could just address the easement real quick. Jason mentioned most of the information regarding the easement at the planning and zoning meeting and at the COW meeting. We talked about potentially vacating these portions where the stairways are. for the development. After digging into it, the survey recommended, based on how Front Street was conveyed years ago, he recommended do it by way of easement, not by vacation. So we just got the easement tonight or earlier today. So a couple different options. It's a 5-foot easement. We could approve it here tonight. I talked to Attorney Stillman here today. He's comfortable. Micah, you could speak for it too. Approving it, and then also requiring a, Mike, you want to go through, we can require just a hold harmless agreement from the developer. You want to go ahead?
Yeah, we'll require a hold harmless for the easement, which we'll do a supplemental agreement between the owner and the village. But that should not prevent you from approving the easement. We'll just, you can just put it in the motion, actually, the minutes should reflect that, subject to a hold harmless agreement from the owner to the village.
Okay. Do we need to do a motion on that?
Motion.
Yeah, motion, subject.
Just quick question.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Did Bridge say anything about that? They were okay with that resolution?
Yes.
And the modification of their insurance?
Yeah, they understood that that was an option.
Okay. That's it. Thanks.
So need a motion to have this plat of easement subject to, what is that, Mike?
A hold harmless agreement between the owner and to the village.
Okay, a hold harmless.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Second.
Motion by trustee McClafferty, seconded by trustee Maher. All right, any other questions, comments? I think we're good to go. Okay, roll call, please.
Stapleton.
Yes.
Kittredge.
Yes.
Maher.
Yes.
McClafferty.
Yes.
Shaughnessy.
Yes.
Okay, motion approved. Thank you, Janet.
Mr. Mayor.
All right. Next up, Mike, we have a village attorney report.
I don't have anything this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
Thank you.
George, administrator report.
Nothing for open session, Mr. Mayor.
All right, any board reports?
Mr. Mayor, thank you. I just want to acknowledge the passing of Dwayne Peterson, the owner of Main Inn. 35 years, he ran the Main Inn as a very iconic bar in town, and also was instrumental in beginning the Lamont Legends Car Show. So something that still takes place today is, something that he helped found. So a big part of Lamont we lost there, and, something that makes our town what it is today, and that's to value our history and those that came here when there wasn't a whole lot going on and stuck around to see that it became very successful and prosperous. So our condolences to the family. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, I second that. I've spent many a night playing a little pool by him, and no, he will be missed. So God bless Dwayne. All right. Anything else, board? Any staff reports?
Yes, I do, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. Last Monday, we had an issue at well number 4. I believe you guys all know about it. We went to go kick on the well, and it kicked the large breaker out. And once that happens, we automatically call the professionals. So that's what we did. They came out, they did some testing above the well. All they can do, and they found nothing, meaning that they have to pull the well out of the hole and find out what happened, 1,100 feet down. So we're in the process of getting them deployed to set up their equipment. I have a meeting with them on Wednesday morning to see when they can do that. So I'll keep the board updated, and hopefully it's nothing too major, and we can just get it back in the hole and working again. So that's all I have.
Thanks, Ralph.
Any questions?
Keep our fingers crossed, right? All right. Okay, any unfinished or new business?
Chief,
I'm sorry, Chief, did you have anything for staff report?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, just one quick thing. I wanted to extend the condolences on behalf of the Lamont Police Department and the village to the family of Chicago police officer Andre Vasquez Lasso, who was shot and killed on March 1st and buried last Thursday. He was responding to a domestic violence situation and a man with a gun call when he was shot and killed about 10 days ago. He is survived by his wife and sister, and we extend our condolences to his family.
Thanks, Chief. All right. Any other unfinished or new business? Okay, George, audience participation.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is the time of the meeting. If anybody would like to address the board, this is your time. You can come on out to the podium and speak. So please just state your name for the record, and you may speak. Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. I am Emily Breyer. I was just wondering, I know that Lamont has the immense honor of being one of the few cities in the state of Illinois that is currently growing. So I was wondering what the city would do to maybe be more walkable, like walkability, like are we putting in more sidewalks or bike paths? I was looking at surrounding areas, and I noticed that Homer Glen has a really amazing established paths. And so many of the families in Homer Glen benefited from those bike paths because when they couldn't afford gas, they were able to walk and get groceries for their families. And I've noticed that some areas in Lamont, they don't have any of that. They don't have bike paths. They don't even have sidewalks. There's not even a safe shoulder for them to walk to. So I was thinking a lot of these communities in Lamont could be served better if we had more walkable infrastructure.
Oh, thank you, Emily. Appreciate your input, and I think all of us second what you said as far as trying to promote walkability and pedestrian. And in fact, one of the big things we've been doing, especially if you noticed it on McCarthy, is the bike lanes. We have it on both sides. That was a major project. The beauty of Lamont is that it's old with heritage, and one of its weaknesses is that it's old as well, because it unfortunately, there's a lot of infrastructure, especially in the downtown areas that, kind of make it difficult as far as for walking and just compliance issues as far as, potentially ADA. And I know, Jason, you might want to comment a little bit on that. But we definitely, as a village board, we've been talking about, making Lamont a recreation destination for the last several years, and we continue to promote many projects with bike and pedestrian paths. In fact, we've been, working on an endless project. We met again today. We're with Congressman Foster this morning, walking him through all the, the projects we have around town, but, downtown as well, as far as the pedestrian bridge and the park, what the Park District is doing downtown. So we second what you say, and we try and do that as we put in new developments as well. Lamont doesn't have a lot of wide open space anymore. So, the quote-unquote big developments have been put in place, but the ones that are bigger, for instance, Copper Ridge, we want to make sure we have parks, and we want to make sure that's walkable as well. In fact, we've made connectivity to that trail system and back. And again, we try and do that, albeit on a smaller scale, because we do have smaller tuck-in type of subdivisions, anywhere from 2 to 4 units to even upwards of 15. Sometimes it's tough to put in full-blown parks and trails, but we do that. But Jason, you want to just talk a little bit about what we have going on as far as ADA?
Trustee Shaughnessy, how much time do I have?
Not much.
I'm sorry, I could go on.
You've got homework to do, so.
Yeah, as could most of the board, but I would encourage Emily and other residents to search for the active transportation plan for the Village of Lamont. It was passed in 2012, so it's a little bit older, but it does give sort of a blueprint of future active transportation projects. The Village's Heritage Corridor and Outdoor Recreation Commission has been tasked with making recommendations to that plan. We do use that plan as the basis for applying for grants. So as the mayor mentioned, we received a $2 million grant that would bring a bike and pedestrian bridge across the Sanitary and Ship Canal connect to the Centennial Trail, 260 miles of trail, and we justified that by pointing back to that plan. As the mayor mentioned, the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning has given the Village of Lamont an ADA transition plan grant. That hasn't started yet, but when we do start, we'll make an announcement and look for steering committee members. So that's for everybody in a wheelchair to mom with a stroller or anybody that might want to be able to get around. You know, there are always challenges, like Mayor said, in Lamont between incorporated and unincorporated areas, properties that landowners might have. But I do think we've been consistent with new developments, Kettering, villas, et cetera, to require asphalt path on the side, very much inspired by Homer Glen. They've done a terrific job there. And we hope to, in the future, connect those paths through grants.
Thank you, Emily, appreciate it.
Just one follow-up comment.
Okay.
That's great to hear. And like when you mentioned unincorporated, that was, I think that is also a big issue, but like Glens of Connemara and like around Kettering in that area, we live around that area, and I remember when I went to Lamont High School, I attempted to bike to high school once just because it struck me how so many people used to be able to walk or bike to school and how so many people nowadays just can't do that. And I was eventually able to do that, but it was rather perilous, and it took over 40 minutes for a journey that on bike should have been less than 20. And I noticed, and I've actually been on the bike path that you guys talked about on the side of Kettering, and it's great, but there's a lack of connectivity there to other bike paths. So I do see people using it, but it's in that restricted area only. If there could be a way to get a bike path or a sidewalk on the side of 131st, all of those kids that are moving into Fox Point and Fox Hills and Glens of Connemara and Kettering, who will be otherwise forced to take the car to the high school in the next 10 years or so, they could walk or bike instead. It could be safe for them. Because I know all those kids on the road at once, that's going to just wreak havoc on our road infrastructure.
Thank you, thanks, Emily.
And it's in our capital plan, but we're gonna need help to fund it.
Yeah.
So I'd encourage you to talk to the township as well, and other partners, Cook County, because we're gonna need help to fund it. I'm looking at our finance director now. You know, we can't do it alone. We'll be the leader, you know, and we've secured federal funding, but it's a very expensive project. To do it is probably $3 to $5 million. We'll do our part, but we do need partners. So, and we'd love to have you along for the ride with us. But we've already have it out for bid for. I think we have interviews, right, Ralph, for engineering firms out there. It's a good project, but we do need partners. So.
Yeah, we've looked at, you know, and it's tough. Definitely on the south side of town, the southeastern part, as you mentioned, you know, the Glens of Connemara, and even just on the northeast side. I don't think there hasn't been a bike path we haven't looked at or a pedestrian way. You know, sometimes we try and put them under power lines where we try and be as proactive as possible there. Believe it or not, there's a lot of projects we've costed them out, and they've actually been, I guess, you know, not necessarily designed, but we do have, you know, quite a few that never, you know, just because it doesn't get approved doesn't mean they're not being planned right now.
131st though, because it will connect to Homer, and it has the potential to connect to Derby, into McCarthy, to our downtown. Is a really nice link.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
has some potential. So.
That'd bring a lot of traffic to downtown.
Yeah.
I had to, anybody could search Cook County Bike Plan, I'm looking at it here. This is being developed by Cook County Department of Transportation and Highways. There's an opportunity to comment on the map. You know, that could help put some things on their radar that are on a road that's under Cook County's jurisdiction. So that always helps if they think their constituents want it as well.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. It does take partnership, because there is a lot of, especially from that area there is quite a bit of unincorporated, which means we need the cooperation of either the landowner or the township as well. So, but thanks again, Emily, for coming out and sharing that concern. Appreciate it. Okay, anything else, George? Any other?
Jerry,
Sure.
you know, you never take me up on my offer.
Yeah, what did I say earlier? Okay, Jerry. Got an hour and a half.
Young lady mentioned, I drive through town, I go mainly Schultz, Creoff, and then up Hillview, and then I see more people walking in the street, or jogging in the street, or walking their dog in the street than I do on the sidewalk. I did ask one couple, I says, well, why don't you use the sidewalk? And they says, well, it's not good for my feet. So, Ralph, I want you to put cookies on the sidewalk. But no, that's actually.
No money in the budget for this.
Softer concrete.
Yeah.
It's called this.
No, that is, everybody seems to be on the streets instead of the sidewalks.
Yeah.
So,
Waiting for the quarterman.
that's all I have to say.
Thanks,
You're not
Jerry.
supposed to run the sidewalk. You're supposed to-
Ralph?
You're not supposed to run that sidewalk.
You know, we are doing a greater, sidewalk replacement program this year than we ever have, right, Ralph? So, I mean, that's it's a challenge, though.
The streets.
Yeah.
Are you doing the quarterman?
Okay.
No. I did my 10 hours last year. I'm good for 5.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right,
All
that's it, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, so we do, or I should say, we will be going into executive session. So we're going to need a motion to move into executive session to discuss under Chapter 5 ILCS of the Open Meetings Act, 5 ILCS 120/2C11, pending or imminent litigation, as well as 5 ILCS 120/2C6, setting price for sale of property. I need a motion, please.
So move.
Motion by trustee Kittredge, seconded by trustee Stapleton. Roll call, please.
Stapleton.
Yes.
Kittredge.
Yes.
Maher.
Yes.
McClafferty.
Yes.
And Shaughnessy.
Yes.
Okay, motion approved. We will be going into closed session. We will not have any decisions after that, so we are done with this evening's public portion of our village board meeting. Wish everyone a great week, and we will start the executive meeting in 90 seconds. All right.